Hello beautiful! Guess it's time for another filler video. Yay! Actually just I answer some of your comments video. Yay! Because recently I didn't had the nerves to go through all the comments and basically write the things that I have already written several times on other comments, so I want to speak about it now. I got one recently, which is actually pretty important, but I don't want to stop with this right away. I'll keep it to the end. Hopefully I'll remember it. Let's get started with one of the questions which I get pretty frequently. Your hairstyles are epic. What products do you use? Thank you. Okay, for me it's only this stuff here. Sprühkleber from Got2b. I don't know if you can find it in America or somewhere, but I think that's the strongest hairspray that is in Germany. There are many other out there as well, but I have some problems with my breathing when it comes to spray stuff like deodorant or hairspray, so I can only take certain brands, and this one is actually one which does not cause me to choke. Damn, what's the problem today? English is quite hard for me today. But yeah, that's basically the only product I use, and my straightener. I think for Jutta he also uses some Gatsby. Don't worry, it won't be all comments like that, it's just the first one. Moving on to another comment which I received on the YouTubers React to VK video. I'm so bad today, oh my god. If they wanted to introduce Visual K to newbies, they should have started with Versailles, Malice, Misère, Backtick or D. Honestly, I disagree on that, because I think that newbies shouldn't necessarily start with bands which are 20-something years old. Newbies are more open-minded, and therefore they should be there to give new bands a fair chance. LMAO, I could relate to this, but I speak Nihongo. Actually, I can also speak basic Japanese, but maybe a bit more than basic Japanese. But there's still some staff members which refuse to understand me. Maybe it's just me. I don't even think that my pronunciation is that bad. At least not in Japanese. It might be in English. But I don't know. I'll make another video about that in the future. Visual K is everywhere, even in Japan. Foreign Visual K bands are being recognized as Visual K. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Really, thank you. Those clothes are expensive too. Well, depends on where you're looking for them. To be honest, I think that Sexpot really does have some clothes which are reasonable. If you take into consideration how much fabric you might need for some of them and how creative the design of the shirts is, I think you also pay for the work and for the thinking process, which might take a long time, so I think it's reasonable for some brands. But some are absolutely overpriced, like Action Auto for example. Civerize! Oh my god! All those bands sound terrible and boring. I tried, but I don't like it. And for me, this is weird K. As for Western bands or German bands, which I've mentioned in that video. I appreciate that you at least tried, honestly. I can understand that you don't like them. There are also some which I didn't like, even though I introduced them. But I really appreciate that you at least tried it, because there are so many people out there who just go out and say that it's shit and that they can't do anything and have no idea about anything without even listening to them, just because they're not fuckable pretty Japanese boys. Ugh! Okay, I think we'll just go back to the first comment, which is pretty important, I think. It's long. Oh my god, it's a long comment. It's in German, so I'll roughly translate it in a moment. Wait a second. So he basically says that he was in the Visual K subculture and he really had a hard time He used to be in a Visual K band, and he had some beef with other Visual K bands of that time, so they ended up insulting each other, hurting each other, like physically hurting each other when they met. They came up with rumors about who had the most groupies and how they raped kids or something. He basically left Visual K because he had a hard time with other musicians and the fan base. I think it's a really important comment because even though it might not exactly be the case for him, but there are many people out there who think that Visual K in general is bad, unskilled musicians and everything just because they had some problems with people in the fan base, and that's complete bullshit, honestly. So starting off with the rumor about groupies, or at least about people saying that you're sleeping with several people, honestly, that's something which I think happens to every musician. It already happened to Johnny Cash, so that's nothing new, that's normal. I guess sadly it's normal. And I can understand that there have been many problems with the fanbase. I mean, I made several videos about this topic. But I think it's completely wrong to forget the music about stupid people in the fanbase. The problem is also that many people who have problems try to make others leave this fanbase as well because they have bad experiences, which is horrible. I also had some bad experiences, especially online. But I think it's wrong to hate like a whole genre just because there are some stupid ass bitches in this fanbase. Just something which bothered me many times. Listen to the Gazette! You've heard it. I have to be a little honest here. I was a little shocked by the first video because they started a bit too extreme. Yeah, it was kinda... I guess they just wanted to shock really badly. I also agreed that they should have used some different songs. At least for the Gazette they should have used a different song because they have so many songs which are way better than... Which one was it? Can you react to non-Japanese bands, please? For example, Batar, Dreams Now Reality, This Rain, Kabara. Sounds like a nice idea, but I actually don't like reaction videos. Maybe another introduction video, I don't know, but yeah, I like some of them. So maybe I will, not sure. This is a very nice video and oh, you're gorgeous. Thank you. And German language sounds wonderful. Actually, it's the first time that I hear that. Everything you've said is so true and oh my god, I really know what you're saying. The Visual K group on Facebook. I think I know the group you're talking about. The majority of people from that group is extremely rude, and also they are rude about Visual K bands, artists, videos, experiences. Seems like they are judging a lot, and to me it seems like they're disliking everything about Visual K but still are friends. Yes, actually checked out the profile, the Facebook profile of the person who founded this group, and she hates everyone except for her honmei. She even had a post where I can't remember it exactly, but something around the lines of I have to delete all this Visual K rubbish crap from my Facebook profile, because what if the boss or someone from the company I'm working at will see that crap? It's so bad. I don't know why people like this exist. I don't get it. Okay, I just checked the group and I can't find her profile, so maybe she got kicked out or she realized that she should not be there, I don't know, but it might be for the better. So maybe this group isn't that worse anymore. I don't know, hopefully it isn't. Oh, there's another one which I've already answered to, but I think it's kind of important. It's also in German, I roughly translated. So she basically is really afraid of the Visual K scene. That's why she keeps being alone and does not want to interact with others. I know why this might happen, but please, not everyone is like that, really. There are even some girls out there which are labeled by others as complete bitches because The best one I've heard recently was Tsunagari looking like bitch. That was pretty funny, because how can you look like a Tsunagari? I think, aren't we all Tsunagaris to someone? That's pretty stupid. Even though they look kinda bitchy, just try to text them and maybe you can start a great friendship, because not everyone is an elitist bitch. Recently, there are many people who are nice and friendly, especially among the younger fans. Falls es dann doch eine ist, die kacke ist, dann hast du wenigstens jemanden, über den du lästern kannst. About the disband thing, I found a few very old BK magazines, Peach und so weiter. That's a German band. Magazine, and there were so many disband messages. Also an article where he also talks about the disband thing. She or he said that today much more bands would broke up their career instead of working together for a long time. Sad thing, but now lovely VK community, we can see that this band is not a today's problem. It was there the whole time, 12 years ago, and nothing has changed about it. Thank you. Thank you. This is so true. Nothing has changed about it. We just forgot about those bands which lasted like 2 weeks or something. We just don't care. We only remember the good ones. And that's why suddenly there are so many disbandments. Also, we have a better access to the internet, and everything is a lot faster, considering that most of us are now able to speak Japanese and get the news directly instead of having to wait like months before actually getting the news about a disbandment or a release or something. So we need to take that in consideration. But I actually am interested in reading that article. I will look that up later. I think I still have those magazines floating around somewhere. Something I also wanted to talk about, new bands. I really like that oldie stuff, X, Baktik and so on. Mostly I listen to the 2000 bands, like I said, Diru. My problem with new ones is I'm lazy. Yeah, I think that's a problem for most people. We are lazy. Nobody is there to fill us with news. Like, I think a big problem is that, how was this page called? Visual Scandal or something is down. So there's almost no way for us to illegally download music. Bam, it's dead. Oh, no new music, damn. Shit. I think that had a huge impact when Visual Scandal died or shut down its page. Many people had no way of finding out new bands, new music. This is why they think there's nothing more, nothing new. And the only thing you hear about is disbandments, because the Facebook algorithm only shows you the posts which get the most responses, comments especially. So of course there are more comments on disbandments than there are on new releases, and then it gets shown to people. You used the word like about, gosh, so much like, more than 100. But no care, cause your video rock and you too. Thank you. Like I already said, I should make a like counter or something. Let's see how many likes I've left this time, but I think actually now I'm more at because and actually. I also use the word actually quite often. I'm so limited in English, it's impressive. I can write novels, but when it comes to speaking I'm so super limited, it's so sad. You sound a bit awkward and nervous. Honestly, I think that's because the video was so long that I've decided to, how is it called? Not stretch, but the opposite of stretch. I've decided to get some phrases a bit shorter without cutting it too much, and that's why some phrases are a bit pitched, because just in case you were wondering, you know. I didn't quite understand what Tanuki is, but sounded like drama. It seems like there are also normal chats on Tanuki, like, hey, let's talk about America! Don't you like America? Yeah, it's great, oh, I want to go there, and something like that. I think that's also there. But the majority of bangyas probably use this as how to get information about my honmei thing, so I could be wrong, I'm not into Tanuki, but from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing from other people that I know which go on Tanuki, it's basically about getting information about Bannerman. Pretty sad, actually. Just let them live their lives, most of them have a girlfriend, leave them alone! I agree with you on these points. I definitely hate all the drama on Tanuki and also how some people act around foreigners at lives. Or I can still tell you stories. I've planned to make videos about that. Be prepared. I suppose it's up to the individual to decide what they want to enjoy in the scene. This is so important, this is so true. As you have mentioned in my previous videos, I focused a lot on the negative aspects of this fanbase, and that was bad, that was actually bad. Especially because I was at a very low point of my mental health. It's actually bad. If you focus too much on the negative aspects, it actually makes it... I make an actually counter. I do it. So yeah, if you focus too much on the negative aspects, it definitely brings you down a lot. It's horrible. I'm also planning to make less negative videos in the future. It's just not good. Why the hell did they not show Dion Gray? I'm assuming it's because Dion Gray is not visual kei. Even though some might still think that, but they are pretty much done with it and even say that they've never been into it at all to begin with. So they should have switched Insanity Injection with Versailles. I actually think it's pretty cool that they included a band which is not all Japanese. I don't know if you know it, but Chaos is Italian. So I really appreciate that they took such a band, also such a band which is absolutely not popular at all, which is pretty unknown. Thumbs up for that, definitely. Of course it's not that, but damn, it gets exhausting with all the disbandments over the years. Yeah, Visual Ironer, I think, was it, made a summary about how many bands disbanded and how many bands formed in 2017, I think, or at the end of 2017, I think, and there were more formations than there were disbandments. I actually think that there were even more formations, because there are many small bands which just we don't hear about. There's so many bands which get completely ignored and forgotten. Is there a stigma against liking the Gazette and being a long-time fan of them? I don't know, but there are many elitist Dion Gray fans who hate the shit out of Gazette. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I like both bands. Dion Gray used to be my life until 2014. And by now I even like the Gazette a bit more. I honestly don't understand why people hate so much on them. But I'm assuming that there are some people which need to remind themselves that nothing goes over our gods of Dion Gray. Okay, I'll just check out my spam comments, which I never checked out before, I think. It's not that much, actually. Visual Kei is dead and there's nothing that can be done. Oh, how wrong you are. I watched it, and just like what I have thought, they are not preferred to on that kind of music, because American guys don't recognize VK. I don't even know if they knew about VK. Well, me, I'm a fan of VK, especially Hero K. Hero K? I kinda have like Superman and an VK outfit in my mind, like Hero K. Shit, moment. Hero K. Go back to topic, I'm pretty sure that's the first time they saw a Visual Kei PV. Of course they were new to VK. Otherwise their reaction would have been a lot different. If they would have put me there, I would have probably started to do some foodie or something, and that would have been embarrassing. Do you also like K-pop and K-rock? I would be interested in that. No. K-rock maybe? Probably? I don't know. But K-pop, I tried several times, but the only song which I really listen to, which I really like, is Hadu Hadu from DBSK, I think. Please, where can I buy Sexpot Revenge clothes cheaply? Second-hand, Closet Child. If you're lucky, sale on CD Japan. Sexpot itself has a lot of sales, but if you're a foreigner, you need a shopping service for that, so it's basically you can get it for full price. That's basically it, I think. Well, that's all I do. Or just go to Japan and hope that you find something at Closet Child, which became pretty hard recently because everything is filled with pink, boring gyaru stuff. I'm sorry. For me it's boring. I have to be lucky. Yeah, I think that's it for today. The video is already long enough. I'm recording for an hour now. Wow. And then I'll hopefully be back more frequently, like I've said so many times before. Sorry. I'm disgusting. I ripped out some hair. I'll turn this off now. Until next time, stay lovely.